So it's been really, really helpful, and thank you very much for sharing some of your stories about what's been helpful and what's not been helpful when working with helping professionals. And I'm really interested in kind of some of the things that you've written down that you've found that are supportive when a helping professional gets alongside you. And I wondered if anybody wanted to kind of talk about some of those themes that you've been exploring. What do you think?
I think professionals need to talk to a person and not a label, because they talk to you as if you're a set of symptoms and they don't see your whole life and the stuff that's going on outside. You know, it's almost like they give you a set of pills and everything's going to be fine, and they don't see that you've got strengths that could help you sort things out, and that, you know, you've got different problems. You know, it's almost like there was somebody I know whose dog died,
Yeah.
and they went and said, oh, I'm feeling upset because my dog died, so they increased their antidepressants. It's like that. It's like not saying, well, do you want to talk about your dog dying? It's like, well, we'll just, you know, dose you up.
Yeah.
It's things like that.
So not seeing you as a label, and also talking through things rather than just seeing tablets as the answer. I think that you think are helpful when people work alongside you.
Yeah, it's like working with you instead of giving you just like a set of pills or telling you what to do. And
yeah. So finding out what would be helpful for you rather than deciding what they think is helpful.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. So what about any of the other things that you've got on the sheet? Does anybody want to talk about one of those?
I think there's something I hear about listening to advocates, and I find that a lot, that I think some of my carers, including family, kind of know a lot that's really helpful or kind of really valuable resource, but professionals can ignore them really easily and say, oh, it's just his mum, she's just saying that.
Yeah.
Rather than like taking them seriously, really.
Yeah. So you think that kind of they need to be held in equal esteem to professional opinion?
Pretty much, I think so, yeah. In terms of like knowing my difficulties, knowing my history.
Yeah.
They've just got a lot of insight to offer, really.
So that's really important for you.
Yeah, but professionals can. Just see it as kind of an informal care and discarded, really, sometimes.
Yeah, thank you for that, Luke. That's really helpful. What about any of the other ones that we've got on there? I can read talk to the person, not the label. I think we've covered that one, haven't we?
Yeah.
Don't judge me by my label or my history. Yeah, I think we've got that. Provide advice if appropriate, and if not, consider possibilities around other services and or professionals. What does that mean, I wonder?
I think there's something about professionals sometimes having to admit when they don't know something or they're not 100% sure, or they're out of their depth.
Right.
Accepting that themselves, admitting it if they have to, rather than pretending.
Yeah. They don't have to be the expert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really not helpful if they do pretend they are when they're not.
When they're not. Yeah.
And I'm sure they probably feel bad sometimes when someone comes to them for help and support, and the first thing they do is admit they don't know everything, but it probably is the best thing.
And that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's okay to do.
I think I'd trust somebody if they said, well, actually, I'm not quite sure about this. I think I'd trust them more and feel they were more honest rather than, you know, especially if they were said, well, actually, I'm not sure about this, but I can signpost you to this.
Yeah,
you know.
and find out.
Yeah.
Because sometimes helping professionals feel like they have to have all the answers. And I suppose what you're saying is that you don't have to have all the answers. You know, if you don't know, please just say, I'm not sure. That would be more helpful. Is that right, Stan? Yeah. It
makes them a human instead of something.
Lead by example. Show me the benefits of change. What does that mean?
I think we were trying to get at some of the issues around people coming in from the outside and feeling like this is what should happen. this is the right thing to happen. I'm going to force this on you, I'm going to pressurise you, which I think a lot of the stories illustrated. That's not a good thing. If someone, you want to, it's a psychology really, if someone is going to change, they have to want to change, they need to be motivated to change, and so anybody who comes in should be able to give them a reason rather than just saying, this is the way we do it.
Yeah, so find out if I really want to change, see what my motivation is to change, and help me think about it, rather than telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you...
I think it's also that you might not want to change your whole life, just bits of it. You know, there might be things you want to change, and it's like coming in and saying, well, you need to change this and this, you know, it's, yeah.
So find out where you want to start,
Yeah.
which might not very often be the place that the professional wants to
No.
start at, but let you take your first
Yeah.
steps. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, because they might have an idea where they think you should be,
Mm,
and you might not agree with that.
yeah.
And just taking it step by step will, yeah.
So what would you normally do if you didn't agree with that? How would you normally behave if I came along and said, I think you need to do X, Y,
Like a
and Z?
stubborn mule.
You'd be stubborn, yeah. Yeah, you'd argue against it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
think
actually what that-
Mm,
you resent the position of power that the professional has really,
yeah.
that they are in a position they can kind of more or less order you around, and obviously it's natural to resent that.
Yeah.
And
So
also, you should be able to give them a reason why they should change.
yeah.
And if there isn't a reason, then you should be asking yourself why you're asking them to change.
So you resent it and then you disengage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something you said there, something you said there about them being up there, being in a position of power. And it's like, actually they should be working with you on the same level, rather than actually,
Yeah. So you want somebody who can get alongside you and not above you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that works better for you. And I think that fits with some of the kind of things that you've said that are important around encouragement and acknowledgement. Be realistic and not over ambitious. And I think that was something that you were talking about very much, isn't it, Simon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you've covered it in the clip that you did
Yeah.
earlier? Yeah, you're happy with what you've said there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
I think you might want to say like put yourself, the professional put themselves in your shoes. So like think from the patient's perspective
Yeah.
rather than just deciding, oh, this needs to happen, this and this.
Yeah. So really try and understand what the person is thinking or feeling.
Yeah.
And how they might receive that rather than just telling somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and making you feel more stressed.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, that's really good. So anything that you want to add, Chris? Because I know we haven't been able to bring you into the discussion so far.
Well, if I had a support worker, I'd really want to see them as a friend rather than someone. I know they're a professional, but I'd like them on the same level.
So to have a friendly approach.
Yeah.
And what does that look like to you?
Well, I haven't got a support worker at the moment,
Yeah.
but if I had, I'd like them to be on the same level and to ask me opinions and get along with them as a friend, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So that you're an equal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what about if there was something that they wanted to talk to you about that might be difficult for them to say? How would you like them to say that to you?
Well, I'd like them to sit me down and treat me as an individual, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody else want to add anything to that? Around having difficult conversations?
I think I'd like them to be honest, and if there's a problem, actually talk to me about it, you know, because some professionals do almost like go behind your back and talk to the professionals and say, right, this is going on, we need to, you know, rather than actually sitting you down and saying, right, I found this a problem, can we discuss what's going on and, you know, work through it and see if there's anything else that needs to be done.
So honesty is important to you.
I think it's respect as well, really, isn't it? It's part
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
mutual respect and treating each other as adults.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much.